All right, what's up everybody? How you doing? Well, we're headed right now to look at a future project vehicle, possibly a channel vehicle here. It's a vehicle that's been sitting for quite a while. It's sitting in a barn, and yeah, we're gonna try and do some diagnostics, a little bit of recon, see if we can get this thing running at least, see if it'll turn over, if it's got some spark, whatever, and then from there we'll drag it home if it's a good deal. So let's take a look. All right, well, driving down this road, it's somewhere on our left-hand side here. I've been by before, actually, so I'm kind of familiar with this area. I used to actually live up the street, but I've been down here and I've seen quite a few. Oh, here we are, right there. We got to turn in right here, and a little early, but here's the area, and it's in that barn right there. All right, and here she is, 78 Olds Toronado XS. Been sitting in this here barn for, oh god, I don't know. The guy said his uncle actually owned it, and then uncle gave it to his old man, so probably hasn't been on the road since around 2000 or late 90s, which makes it one of those will it run and drive kind of deals, but it's decent condition overall. This whole area here had some rust repair in the past. Someone did some lead work and then a whole bunch of primer, and it's actually pretty good. I think this could be easily turned nice, easily sanded down, and a little bit of body work. Marker lights in the back are missing. The bumper fill strips are, of course, are gone, which they all are on these cars, but pretty cool car. It's got the rear tail lights up here, which was an innovation for this car, and it's got the rear glass, which was actually bent during manufacturing, so actually like bend the glass right here. And this is the difference between the regular Oldsmobile Toronado and the XS, and here you go, XS right here. Just open up the interior, kind of a little bit of recon. Interior's got that nice velvet, and unfortunately in this interior some little critter decided to chew on some of this stuff, so that's the big drawback on the interior. Otherwise the floors and everything looked pretty good from underneath the car, and I don't know if you can see, but it's got 91,564 kilometers, which is under 60,000 miles, so pretty cool car. Sunroof. And yeah, so they've got a heater in here keeping her warm, and that's a good sign. And we'll go around to the back, look in the trunk a little bit. Get some light going here. In the trunk, we've got all the hubcaps. We've got the rest of those filler pieces just disintegrate, and we've got the rear marker lights as well in that box. There's a cap and a rotor in here, and the bumper jack and a spare and a couple other things. So the rear here in the trunk, you can see where some of that lead work and primer was done. It doesn't seem to be, you know, super rotten. Again, been sitting in an old barn like this, and preserved for the most part since her last days on the road. Just kind of looking around the other side of the vehicle here. Again, more of that primer. XS, and overall doesn't seem to be a whole ton of rot. Here's more repair work done, but overall doesn't appear to be a ton of rot. So we'll go look at some of the engine vitals here before we try to start this thing, or at least roll the engine over to see if she's not stuck. So starting with the radiator. Now I don't know if you can see that, but we'll get more light back in there. There's actually coolant in the rad. Hopefully you can see in there, but there is coolant in the rad, which is good. It's nice and green. And moving around to this side, engine oil actually looks really good. Doesn't even look that dark. It's totally full, maybe a bit over full, but you know, it's been sitting a long time, so try to get that in there with one hand. There we go. And where are you now? Trans looks really good actually. Smells good. Doesn't even smell like it's varnished. So trans is good. Engine oil's good. Rad fluid is there. Coolant's in it. This guy, I'm gonna need something to pry that open here. Brake fluid. Might be a problem getting into that. Maybe I go the other way. Come on now. Maybe not. We'll go back the way we were going the first time, because it seems to want to clear. Okay. And we've got fluid, at least in one reservoir there. Let's see. The back doesn't look like it's got anything, or that would be probably the front. So anyhow, there's some fluid in there. All right, so we're gonna yank this old battery out, and I got another battery. This is the battery out of F-beater, and we're gonna use this guy because I don't have another battery. So we're gonna hit our negative. Kind of strange that these are side post cars, even in 1978. I would think they would be top post, but hey, let's see if we can get that going nicely. Touch the positive here, see if anything happens. Don't see anything smoking, burning, crackling. So we'll connect that up. And I'll get a charge box on it. I think there's one lying around here. Yeah, so I'll put a charger on it as well. Cool. Okay, we got ourselves hooked up here with a charger as well. So we're gonna go twist that key. So you guys stay here and tell me if that rotates okay. I'm gonna put you down somewhere. Somewhere where the oh, look at these flat fenders. So somewhere where the camera can see. So here we go. Let's see if we can rotate that a little bit. Alright, so it rotates and rolls over on the starter pretty good. These things didn't have a lot of compression, like 8-to-1, so it didn't sound like a ton of compression. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to pull a plug and I'm going to put my spark tester on there, and we're going to see if we got some spark. Yeah, so spark plugs for this are super easy to get to. I mean, this is super easy to get. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This thing is like a dream to change spark plugs on. Not your 4th gen Camaro, which I'm used to. Way easier to service. I mean, this is a front wheel drive layout here. So basically, here's your engine, and then you've got your TH425 gearbox, and then there's a big chain drive, I believe, in here, which runs the front wheels. So anyways, easy to get to the plugs, and was not even that tight, like it wasn't seized or anything. So we will pull Mr. Spark Plug out, don't drop it, and take a look at what we're dealing with here. So over in the light, the plug looks okay. It doesn't look wet. It's a little black, maybe, you know, this car was started once in a while. I'm not even sure. The heck plug is it? It's a Champion RJ18YC6, whatever that means, but he's got the 13/16 bigger plugs, but we'll got that out. So we're gonna now put that plug back in. Just wanted to take a look at what the cylinder looks like inside, put it back in, and then we'll attach our spark plug tester to that. All right, so we got our spark tester here in line with the spark plug, and we're gonna spin it over and see if you can see that. See if you can get some spark on there. So we did not see any spark, so we got to do a little bit of recon here with the distributor. Okay, well, no spark is not really a big deal. I think we can fix that. It's nice to see the engine rolls over pretty freely, actually. It doesn't seem to be, you know, laboring the starter too much or anything like that. Again, these things 8-to-1 compression. You don't hear a lot of compression in there, but we can do a compression test. I did bring my compression tester, so I'll pull that spark plug back out, and let's or I could do a couple holes actually. So let's check compression on a few cylinders and see what we get. Okay, just threading in the hose here. Seat that O-ring that's on the end there. That should be good. And then we'll connect this up here. Kind of one-handing this while holding the old camera. Okay, compression tester is now hooked up, so we're gonna spin this over again, and we'll put you somewhere so you can tell me what kind of numbers we're seeing. All right, here we go. All right, so we ended up with, it's kind of upside down, 120. On that cylinder. So we'll probably do the whole bank here and just give an idea, or so we can get an idea of what kind of health the engine has. All right, here's a second plug from the back on the driver's bank, again right on 120, so that's a good sign. So far they're both the same, which is good, and hopefully that's a good number. I'll have to check out what compression would be on a low compression motor like this, but kind of seems in the ballpark. And while we're in there and while we've got the wire off, we're going to run the spark tester on this one as well, on this cylinder. I don't know what cylinder this is, 5, I guess, if this is how these are labeled. 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8 on the other side. So we're going to run the spark tester on cylinder number 5. Maybe cylinder number 7 here just wasn't sparking on that. So let's do this. Set you guys up somewhere so you can see it. There we go. Let's spin that over. And that looked to me like no spark as well, so I'm assuming that the pickup module or something in the distributor is bad. It could be power going to the distributor as well. But these are HEIs, they're pretty cheap, and parts are fairly cheap, so we can dig into that later because I don't have the parts for the HEI here. And I don't really have a test light, all I have is this guy right here. So anyways, we're just kind of doing some diagnostics and some recon to see if this thing's worth taking home. All right, so most of the things I'm seeing are signs of a fairly healthy engine. You know, there's coolant in the radiator, so I would assume that there's no, you know, crack block or anything like that. The oil looks good, the transmission fluid looks good. We don't have spark, but that can be fixed easily enough. Compression is steady on the last, or the first 2 cylinders I did, so I'm going to do the last 2 on the driver's bank here. I don't know if I'll do the passenger bank. I think in the end of the day, if this side is good, I think that side should be good. It rolls over smoothly. It doesn't sort of, you know, have a hard spot in there. It doesn't want to roll over, sort of like one cylinder isn't working properly. Like there's even compression around the whole thing. So I'm going to pop these 2 out here, check the compression just to finalize the driver's bank, and then we'll take a look at the carburetor and a bunch of other stuff just to get an idea of what we may be into for parts. Okay, that was 120 exactly, so just like the other two cylinders, 120, and things are looking good. We got one more to check. Plug in this cylinder looks just like the plugs in the other two cylinders. A little black, but you know, there's no oil or anything on them, which would, you know, indicate some sort of a piston ring issue. So everything's looking good so far. I just love how easy it is to get the spark plug in and out of this thing. Like, I've never seen a car that was this easy to work on in terms of spark plugs. The distributor right here. I mean, everything is way in front of the cowl. With the F bodies and the 4th gens, I'm used to seeing like half the engine underneath the cowl. So this is a huge treat to be able to work on this, and you know, hopefully that transmission works. But yeah, plug here looks exactly like the other ones. And it is the same plug. It's a Champion, so you know, when you're working on 4th gens and stuff, sometimes you see like the last plug, depending on the size of the engine, of course, but the last plug always is like an original plug. So people just can't get in there and change it, but not in this case. All these are very, very much easy to get at, and people are going to do all their maintenance when they're able to work on them. And you know, back in the day, back in what, 78, you know, people worked on their cars a lot more than today. And once the fuel injection age came around, I think a lot of people were scared. And that's when a lot of the packaging under the hood changed as well. And that's when I think maintenance started to slip, actually. So a lot of cars like this, older cars like this, they would have been maintained a little better in my mind. Yeah, last one, you probably can't see it. It's a touch over 120. That could be a number of reasons. It could be that the engine turning over and the oil pump is putting oil into the cylinders. It's pressurizing things, and with a little bit of lubricant in there, you'll probably see a higher compression number. So looks good. 125, 130 on this, but basically we're about 120 to 125 all the way across. Okay, so let's look under the air cleaner and see what we're dealing with here, which I didn't do before I cranked on it, but oh, nice. I mean, no rat's nests in here that I can see, but look at that Quadrajet. Oh, yeah, you got some evidence of some little critters. Look at that Quadrajet. That is a decent looking carburetor. Definitely can be rebuilt. Missing a lot of, or a few vacuum lines on the other side there, but yeah, okay, choke. Oh, this is actually part of the choke system, I think, which is missing. But I don't know a ton about these, so if you see something, ooh, look at that, crusty. If you see something here that I'm calling the wrong name, just let me know. But this Quadrajet looks actually really, really good. Yeah, it's not locked up. It could be easily rebuilt. Probably just a rebuild kit and a little cleaning, and that's all she'll need. And the HEI, which, you know, we don't have the parts to really diagnose, and I don't really have a way to test that right now. So anyways, that looks pretty good. Just looking around the rest of the engine here, things look pretty complete. I don't know what this down here is, but that runs to the coolant, runs to the water pump, and it runs back to the air conditioning compressor. So I don't know what, oh no, wait a minute, this one goes to the water pump. This is air conditioning compressor stuff. Okay, so that's probably some sort of a filtration system. Yeah, which runs into the heater. Okay, so that's what that is. What else? You know, thinking about this, she's a really, really long car. Like, I think this car all the way to the end here is almost 20 feet long, and it will not, unfortunately, fit in my garage. So if I do bring this home, it's gonna have to sit outside. Yeah, it'll have to sit outside, but I'll have to tarp the heck out of it and put something inside, like a small heater, to make sure that the inside is warm, and seal off anything where any critter can get in. Although we do have a lot of cats around in my neighborhood, so I'm sure they'll take care of any rats hopefully. But yeah, so what is the guy asking? The guy's asking $600 for this car, which has under 60,000 miles on it. It looks like it was well maintained. He knows the history of it from his family, so he's saying that, you know, his uncle loved the car, who then passed it to his old man. But it's been sitting here since around the late 90s, or around 2000, 99, 2000, and it basically has been sitting and it hasn't run. So I'm sure the brakes all need to be gone through. They're probably seized. The engine, you know, all the hoses and maybe even the water pump and everything needs to be replaced. I'm sure anything that's rubber is going to be cracked and brittle, but the bones are here. It's a cool car, and there's still lots of parts for these. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this car home, and we're going to work on this one and get this one running and revive it and drive it around, and we'll go from there. Here she is coming home. What a big car. Huge car. Like 20 feet long almost. Eagle has landed. And here she is, all safe and sound, all tarped up in the yard. I hate to leave it outside, but I honestly don't think if it will fit in the garage even. And even if it does, it doesn't move under its own power, which I gotta get going first so I could at least drive it out, because I like to use the garage for all sorts of stuff. So here she is, safe and sound. I got her kind of double tarped as best I can, and we'll see how easy it is to get her running. But this is where she'll be for now. So there's a lot of real cool information that also came with the car, pamphlets and whatnot. So here's a 1978 Oldsmobile Maintenance Schedule 2. This has got all the maintenance information: chassis, lubrication, fluid levels, engine oil filter, etc., front wheel bearings. This has got all the service information here, maintenance information for this vehicle, and that is really, really cool. If I can fold that up. 1978 Consumer Information, Oldsmobile. Again, more information regarding different types of vehicles, I'm assuming. Tire pressures, stopping distances, I guess, engine compression ratios and whatnot. I guess, let's see. Low speed pass, high speed pass, whatever this is. These are maneuvers showing. The following diagrams are specified by the regulation for the purpose of establishing comparable performance data. So this is some performance data, acceleration and passing ability. Interesting. I mean, this is in really good shape here too. What else we got? ASC sunroof operating instructions. So it looks like ASC did the sunroof on this car. Here's the operating instructions in here. What else is in this? Pretty cool stuff. Twilight Sentinel operating instructions. The Twilight Sentinel is an automatic light switch. It can be turned on by rotating the control behind the light switch knob through your detent in a counterclockwise direction. No idea what that is. I'm going to have to play around and find out. But here is the operating instructions pamphlet. Basically tells you, okay, how to open it up. There's a crank handle. Ah, there was a crank handle. I found it in the bag here. 1 minute. So here's our crank handle for the sunroof. So I can't open the sunroof. if the motor doesn't work, and I know the motor's not going to work, I tried it. So there's a crank handle for the sunroof. That is really, really cool. Put that back in here. I mean, this stuff is probably extremely hard to find unless you bought the car new or it was in your family. Here's the warranty information on 1978 Oldsmobile vehicles. Again, what is covered, what isn't covered. What is this? Lifetime muffler warranty. So there was a muffler installed in 1990s, lifetime. I wonder if I can go back and claim a new muffler under that warranty. I don't think so. What else we got here? Here's the owner's manual, the actual owner's manual. Delta 88 custom cruiser in 98 series. Like, that is cool, and it is in really good shape. I mean, look at this thing. So this is going to tell me a lot about the vehicle, about what creature comforts, Temp-O-Matic air conditioner, radios, tape players, rear window defroggers, all that kind of stuff, or defrosters. Limited slip differential. Ooh, I wonder if I have a limited slip differential in this car. That would be cool. Some Posi front wheel drive burnouts. And the universal carburetor installation and adjustment instructions. So there's a reman carb. Ah, that's probably why the carb looks so good. It's got a reman on it, and it's not a Holly. No, it's not. It's a Quadrajet, or what we like to call a Quadra Bog. People are going to hate me for that. But there's a reman carb on here, and I wonder if this is the Quadrajet stuff. No. So there is a carb of some sort installed. Who knows when. And there's a whole bunch of maintenance records here. This goes back to 85, 86 for these right here. What was this? This was 85 as well. Rear brake shoes, brake clean. Oil filter in 89. So that's the newest one I can see. What do we got? 88, we had front pads, shocks, antifreeze, wheel alignment, rad flush, another alignment. So 89 is the newest, or the most current information. Trying to find out when this was. This was $253. Repair power antenna to operate, remove power antenna. Disassemble, replace mast cable and reinstall and secure. Okay. Oh, and replace hubcap. It fell off. $94. Road test vibration, 100 kilometers an hour. Interesting. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here. This is from 86 as well. Water pump was done in 86. Don Carr Oldsmobile did what? A battery in what year? Can we find it? 86 as well. A lot of maintenance in 86. Again, this is 87. Clutch fan. There's our muffler guarantee. And here's a bunch of information from 84. So as I go through this list, they seem to be getting a bit older. But anyways, there's pages and pages of maintenance data. Here's 1990, repair exhaust, intermediate pipe muffler, resonator, tailpipe, and clamps. So pretty cool. What do we got here? Anyways, I can go on and on forever, and I'm sure you don't want to see all this, but I'm getting stuff as old as 84 and as new as 1990. So that just goes to show you that the vehicle was probably used quite extensively up until the mid to late 90s, as I mentioned. So yeah, so definitely these are signs of a car that was well taken care of in its life, and I'm hoping to go through these and kind of get a little idea of exactly what was replaced and when, so I can kind of know where to go from here and what I need to do. I mean, we know it won't start, it doesn't have spark, but there's so much information and so much cool pamphlet information, owner's manuals, maintenance schedules, stuff like this you just don't come by. So it's good that I got this car when I did, because I think it would have been snapped up, and the fact that it was a one owner and kind of one family car is really, really special. So basically, yeah, we got ourselves a cheap car, $600 car, one of under 2,500. It's fairly rare, fairly basic. A lot of the rust repairs done. It's got low miles. It's under 60,000 miles, or it's like 91,000 kilometers. So it's a pretty rare low mile car. The engine seems to be in pretty good health and pretty good shape. And you know what, we're gonna pick away at it, and so the next video we're gonna try to get this thing running, and we'll go from there. So hope you liked it, enjoy the content, and if you do, like, comment, please, thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.